Hello folks, hope you're doing well today. It's just gone, well, it's nearly, what is it, 9:15 on the 21st of June 2020. Right, this subject is a difficult one, I suppose. This subject is really on the subject of sex again, I suppose, but sexual parts, disputes. And that's because something got me thinking. In the last episode, I talked about a thing called Naked Attraction, a TV program that was on years ago, that was mildly interesting. But that got me thinking. And what that got me thinking is that I've heard women on many an occasion talk about men's genitals and saying not very attractive. I can't argue. I can't argue with that in any way, shape, or form. There is nothing really attractive about a penis and testicles. Not at all. They're there to do a job. Simple as that. But also, what would be surprising to females is that the vagina is not exactly a beauty spot. Most vaginas are not attractive in any way, shape, or form. Now, the reason why this is an interesting subject and one worth discussing is because they are the two really the most pleasurable spots on a human anatomy. Well, they are the places where we get the most pleasure from, really. And yet, they are not attractive. And I started thinking, well, I wonder why they're not attractive. Is there a particular reason for that? And I think there is. I think the reason is quite simple. Young people, or people very much in the first throes of love, can't get enough sex. Some people can't get enough. Yeah, that's very true. Now, if those organs were a lot more attractive to look at, I think that situation of people not being able to get enough and be thinking of sex and etc., a lot more, I think that would be the case. I certainly think personality would go out the window. A person's smile, being attractive, would go out the window. Because if the penis or the vagina were that much more attractive, it would all be on that. All of it would be on that. All it would be, whoa, I wonder how attractive this person is. I wonder how her vagina looks. How gorgeous would that be? Wrong thinking. But that's the point. If they were that much more attractive, then we wouldn't be able to get our minds off it, I don't think. And if you were together with somebody, then I think all your time would be spent doing that. Because what else would you be doing? Yeah. I've already said it's a case that if you love someone, and if that person is the one for you, then that would be probably the best thing you could do together as a couple. Yeah, just with you two. What else could you be doing that could be better than that? I mean, the way it makes you feel. But again, sorry, I keep saying again. Well, that comes from a lack of understanding of building a proper relationship with God with somebody. Because, of course, that could massively be so much better than sex and the feelings you get from sex. That could be so much better. The problem is we've never really done it. We don't know what that'd be like because we've never done it. We just haven't. We just haven't been in that situation of doing that. So therefore, yeah. Screw that. That was a yawn. And it is nearly 9 p.m. Saying that, I've had lots of coffee, so I don't know why I'm not fully awake right now. I'm not doing too bad because brain's working enough to be able to communicate what's in my head. Sometimes that's not necessarily a good thing. But there you go. Anyway, back to the subject matter, yes. So the sexual parts is quite interesting, the fact that they're designed to be unattractive. So that we can get on with our days, so we can do more of the other stuff that we should be doing. Because otherwise it would be a case people would be walking around naked. And it certainly is a case, women who believe they have good breasts tend to try and show them off as much as possible. If they believe they have a good butt, they tend to buy clothing that tends to show their butt off as much as it possibly can be shown off without being pornography. And that is the reality. So if the vagina was attractive, or the penis was attractive, bet your bottom dollar. I mean, you go on to, I've watched videos where there was this Uber driver who can't do Ubers now, so he's doing Omegle. And he talks all the time of when you're on Omegle, you have to have people on there that are just men, showing their penis. And of course, you've got kids on there as well. Of course, kids shouldn't be on there because I think you've got to be over 18 to use it. But they lie. Oh, jeez. It's a dodgy site, clearly, because of that. The point I'm trying to make about that is that men already, with having unattractive penises, are still showing them off all the time on sites like that. Yeah, women complain about how they get dick pics all the time. Again, imagine how many you get if they were actually attractive. Yeah. Women would want such pictures. How insane would that be? You meet someone online, the first thing they ask for is a picture of that, rather than the picture of your face. Yeah. So it's good that they're unattractive because we can get to know each other before we get anywhere near that stuff. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to get to know each other long before we get anywhere near that part, those parts of the anatomy. Because we're supposed to have a relationship that's built on much better, much more solid foundation than sex. So it's good that the sexual parts are less attractive than what they could be. There's Mollie sleeping. Just taking her out for a play, actually, and that's another thing I could have spoken about. A friend of mine, oh, jeez. To say this bloke is a muppet at times is incredibly annoying at times, as I understand the fact. I left Lucy at home this time because I'm trying to teach her. When we take her out to the car, she gets too excited. She starts barking. And the problem is the driveway where the car is reversed into, so I can get them into the car easy. There's James. He's an old chap living in the house here. And because he's had medical issues, he's now sleeping in a made-up bed in the lounge, or in like what would have been their dining room. I think it's what would have been their dining room, which is basically the window is right where the car is and right where Lucy's barking. So this time I pulled her out the car, back indoors, left her here. Of course, I've got Amber, Riley, Chewie, and Mollie. And I'm out with the dogs. Mine are generally speaking behaving themselves, so stand where I am. Then Colin comes out. He likes to stay basically within 10 yards of the road in front of his house. The problem is that's where people chuck bits of food down for the birds. Or whatever, bits of food down for whatever they're chucking the food down for. I'm trying to teach my dogs not to eat things they find on the floor, because anything you could find on the floor could easily be poisoned. So, when Colin comes out, the dogs go over to him. He stays in the area. What are the dogs doing? They're looking for food. Doing exactly what I told them not to. Last time he came out, I said, can you come away from there? Because they're going near the road because they're looking for food. So he eventually came away from there. Whereas this time he wouldn't come away from there. So I then put Amber back in the car. When I look over, he's still in the area with now Riley and Chewie looking for food. What he doesn't understand is that if they eat anything poisonous, he is responsible for that. As much as the person who put it down, and as much as me, he is as responsible because of the fact he keeps on bringing them around areas where there's food when I'm telling him, don't do that. I've had issues with him in the past like that. Like there was one time where he was throwing a stick because there's trees right in the area, right in front of his house, a few little trees there. And Mollie, when she's running away, waiting for something to be thrown, she's looking to you, not looking in the direction she's going. Now, on one occasion, she went into a tree because she wasn't looking where she was going. I said to him, can you not do this anymore? She's just going into a tree. What do you do next 2 minutes later? Exactly the same. She smashed into a tree, hurt herself. And then he gets upset because I have a go at him for doing what I've just asked him not to do. I mean, that is really annoying, to say the least. It's like one of his dogs. One of the dogs he said, I think it was Bob when he had Bob, was getting a bit grumpy. And I could tell Bob was going to nip one of mine. I said to him, you need to keep an eye on yours. He's getting a bit grumpy there. He went, no, he's all right. Then he snapped at one of mine. I think bit one of mine. Of course, I was blinking annoyed about it. And he went off in a huff because I was annoyed with him. That I'd warned him that his dog was going to do this, so deal with his dog. And he didn't, and his dog did it, and then he gets annoyed with me about it. Because I get annoyed with him. Well, who's to blame for the situation? So now what I'm going to do, quite simple, if I go to the field opposite him and he comes out of his dog, mine are going to go back in the car and we'll drive somewhere else. We just got to go somewhere else because I can't trust him. I'm not going to deal with that anymore now. It's bloody annoying, to say the least. It's just one of those situations that's like, well, how do you deal with that? Yeah, you can't say that it's okay to keep doing that, because if one of them does eat something at some point in time because of what they learn while up in the area with him, they die. Of course, he will pretend, oh, I'm really sorry. Yeah, I really care for that dog. Really? If you really care for that dog, why were you encouraging that dog to do something I've said is a bad idea for that dog to do, because it could eat something and get bloody poison from it? No, this is the thing. This is what annoys me. Oh, it's just annoying. It's what it is. This is why, as I say, I try and stay away from people. It's like last night we went out and oh Jesus Christ, stupid woman. I spoke to these other people before who've got a collie dog. This dog pesters Chewie, runs after him, but that's nothing unusual. It's often the case that dogs that are a bit younger will do that because Chewie's running around the pack, waiting for a ball to be thrown or stick or something. He's just running around, keeping an eye on the situation. Of course, his dog was chasing him, and then this woman is there as well with her dog. And her dog keeps on trying to jump on and mate with this other dog, trying to show that the other dog it's the boss. This one was 11 years old, this dog, and eventually Chewie was getting fed up with this, so he snarled at this older dog doing this. And then the younger one, Sam, then started attacking Chewie. This happened about 5 times, and the woman with the older dog knew what the situation was. It took about half an hour to maybe figure out, maybe put my dog on a lead, stop it from doing that. Jesus Christ, woman. Figure it out. It's not bloody complicated, is it really? If your dog is doing something that's causing a problem, get it on the lead. If you're telling the dog to stop doing it, it's not doing it. On the lead. What are you doing? You're just causing a problem. Of course, then this Sam starts attacking Chewie. And there's even tried to have a go at Riley as well. Yeah, did have a go at Riley as well. Had a go at Riley, then had a go at Chewie. And I was just standing there thinking, right, okay, maybe the best thing to do is that dog should have tried to have a go at Lucy because Lucy would tear it to pieces. Yeah, then again, even with the younger dog, they took a long time to try and sort their dog out and stop their dog from doing that. It already attacked Riley 3 times, attacked Chewie 3 times before they actually told their dog off. So if I see them tonight when I come out, I'm going to go the other way. Certainly if both dogs are there, there's no way, shape or form I'm getting involved in that rubbish tonight. No, that's not good. Plus also, I go out at night to walk. I want to go for a walk. I want to take the dogs for walks, and then they will sleep well. Hopefully I'll sleep well. And any food I've eaten where I've had too many calories, I can walk some of those calories off. That is the general idea. Of course, can't do that if people just want to stand around talking. So it's like, okay, I've just got to try and ignore all of that. So one option is there's another place I go sometimes and just whack a ball around for the big car park. So I could just do that first and then go to that field. So I suppose, yeah. Anyway, that'll do for now. As I say, it is just a couple of bits. But the issue about the genitalia, yeah, I figured that was an interesting point actually because of the fact both are unattractive. There is nothing attractive about either genitalia. Yeah, not when you're adult. Yeah, when you're a kid, everything's tiny, it's reduced, so it can look, it's not particularly unattractive when you're that sort of age. But as you get older, yeah, it gets less and less attractive. Both genitalia, male and female. Yeah. That's the reality of the situation. You know, it's like ears get bigger and less attractive. You know, generally speaking, sometimes we can get more attractive as we get older, facially. Absolutely, facially we can get more attractive because some people take a while to grow into their face. You know, so but that's just true. Most people get less attractive as they get older, but some people do get better looking as they get older, as they grow into themselves. But generally speaking, although again, if you're with the one that's supposed to be for you, everything about them will be beautiful. And that's what matters. Everything about them would be beautiful. You won't see their genitalia and think, oh, that's disgusting. Yeah, it's part of them. And because it's part of them, it's absolutely gorgeous. You'd love everything about it. I mean, if that was on someone else, you'd go, no thanks. No thanks at all. But because you have love for that person, everything about them will be absolutely gorgeous. And that's what matters. That's the whole thing. That's what matters, really. You know, you're not expected to be attracted to people you're not really in love with. The problem is we've got into our minds in society now that sexual attraction is so important. It really isn't at all. And that's the thing with that show. The people that then pick somebody from the six, they go out on a date, and more than often, they don't get along that well on a date. Because they then work out that, okay, maybe that person's good looking, but they don't really have much of a personality. And what I was looking for, what I was looking at in that person wasn't their personality. I was looking at their body, which is not really them. So, there you go. And the rest of the stuff, yeah. I'll figure out a way to deal with all that. Got to, for the sake of the doggies. I don't want any of them to have any issues because they're eating something that's poisoned. Because you're going to get that sometimes, that people will put stuff down that's bad. You're going to have that. People are going to put poison food down. It's something that's happened all the time. It's going to happen. So I just got to keep mine away from stuff. They've got to get used to not eating it. Because it's much harder to do when someone is encouraging them into an area where there's things being chucked. So I'll have to deal with that, won't I? Yes. Right, well, you take care. God bless, and I will speak to you soon. Bye-bye.